When we learn Hasidus, and you understand correctly, properly, how there is nothing besides God. There can't be. There can't be anything besides Him. So certainly there are no other gods. There is nothing real to unholiness. Klippa is just the absence of light. It's empty, it's meaningless, it's nothing. And even the physical universe, with all of its impressive size, and it's nothing. What do we accomplish by learning that, by knowing that? Obviously, what you accomplish is that you lose your ego. It's not about you, you're not important, the world is not important. Your ego is gone. Like before Shemona Esrei, Hashem opened my mouth and I'll daven. I can't even say words anymore. So unless He opens my mouth and lets me say the words, pretty nullified. So first we have to understand how totally unreal and insignificant the whole creation is. It's all nothing. So what's the point? It can't end there. Then you have to ask yourself, if the whole world is so insignificant, if I'm so unimportant, if I'm so tiny, why am I here? The answer is because God finds in you something fascinating, fantastic, important, and significant. You say, wait a minute, you just told me I was insignificant. You just told me I'm tiny and useless. Well, worse. It's like, I hate you, you make me sick, you make me nauseous, and I don't even like you. It's not just we're useless and, no, we're bad.
We're only useful if we are used for Him.
So if you put together the fact that we are totally insignificant, and the fact that the Eibishter creates us and talks to us and communicates and gets angry, and if you take these two things together, what do you end up with? Are we real or not? So without Hasidus, we would think like this. Look, I'm real. I mean, come on, I'm real. Get me angry, you'll see. I'm very real. And it gives me so much meaning, it gives me so much inspiration that God wants me to serve Him. That's generally religious thinking. I am real to begin with, and when God talks to me and chooses me, and tells me that I am His chosen people, wow. Now my real existence has become quadrupled. That's one way of thinking. The other way of thinking is, I don't exist. You start at the beginning, right? Didn't exist. I'm nothing. And He creates me. Now, He created me, now I'm real. I am real in His world. not in my world. So I'm not real to myself, I'm real to him. Which of the two makes me more real? If I exist, because I exist. Where did I come from? Why am I here? Stop it. I'm here, I exist, I'm real. Now God comes and talks to me and says, do this, do that. Oh, so I can even serve him? That makes me even greater. But how much greater? A human being who serves God. So how great am I? I'm a human being. A good human being. A useful human being. But if I go the other way, I don't exist. And God creates me. Because to him I'm real. Now how real am I?
As real as God.
Huh?
As real as God.
Now I'm not humanly real with a God that I serve. No. Now my whole reality is him. So what am I? Godliness. So what Kabbalah wanted to do Hasidus had to finish or complete, because Kabbalah says you're nothing. You're not real. Hasidus says that's true. You're not really a human being. You're a divine being. So now, is your existence real? Right. Is God real? So if if my reality is in his world, put it differently. I'm not sure this is true physically, psychologically, whatever, but let's use it as an example. A mother in her feelings to her child. You can look at it as there are two people. There's the mother, there's the child. Now, how does the mother feel about the child? Oh, mother thinks the child is so cute, gorgeous, perfect. What does the mother think about the child? The child is so sweet, so nice, so perfect, so... What does the mother think of this child when he grows up? So smart, he's so capable. Gives me so much nachas. But that's when you're talking about two people, and they're both real, and one has an opinion about the other, or feelings about the other. So you say, what does the mother feel about the child? What does the mother think about the child? What is the mother's reaction to the child? But you're starting off with a child. That's not how it works. You don't become a mother after the child is born. You certainly don't become a mother after the child is born and you think he's cute. Because if you don't think he's cute, then what kind of mother are you? No. You're a mother before there's a child. Yes? In some way? No. No. You're a mother before there's a child.
In that you have the potential to be a mother?
And that you want to be. So, you want to be a mother. To whom? To whom? I don't know. It doesn't exist yet. You don't get to choose what your child is going to look like, what your child is going to... And yet you want to be a mother. A mother to what? To something that doesn't exist? Right? So, is your child influencing you to become a mother?
No.
No, he doesn't exist. He's nothing. Which doesn't mean he's unimportant. It means he can't affect you. He doesn't exist. And yet, you already want to have a child. Which means the mother's impulse, the mother's instinct to have a child doesn't come from the child. It can't. The child doesn't exist, and you're already a mother. So what does that do to the relationship between the mother and the child? When the child is born, the mother feels, you are mine, not you're cute. Some kids are not so cute and the mother doesn't notice because she's a mother. You are mine. How much mine are you? I wanted you before you existed. So how much do I want you? So if you already exist and you're cute, you make me want you. But if you make me want you, I don't really want you. No? That's like loving your child conditionally. If you behave yourself and you bring me nachas and you make some money and you don't put me in an old age home, I will love you. But if you don't do these things, in other words, if the outfit you see in the window makes you want it, you don't really want it. It's not really your choice. You didn't create this desire, it did. Like the expression, it's to die for. In other words, you're not important. It's important. It's so important, it's to die for. So are you choosing it? No, it's choosing you. So if a mother becomes a mother because the child is cute and good and obedient and blah, 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 then the child is making you want. It's not really your want. But imagine you want a child before there's any child at all. So the child is not making you want. So the desire is purely you. That's why when the child is born, you're me. So when we learn a Chassidus, the Eibishter created the world, but you're nothing. It's all him. What is that saying? When did the Eibishter decide, so to speak, when did the Eibishter decide that he wants to have you in his world? When you turned out cute? No, long before you existed at all. So it's not something about you that makes him want you. It's something about him that makes him want you. Does that make you more real or less real? It makes you infinitely more real. You're almost as real as him. Because you're all him. So when we learn a Chassidus, it's all about the Eibishter. The Eibishter is everything. There's nothing besides him. Nothing affects him. Nothing. What are we saying? We're saying he wants you before you did anything. So you don't affect him. He loved you before you existed. Like a mother. So now, where is the conflict? Should I be godly or should I be physical? There's no conflict. The way you are, which means nothing and had no effect on the Eibishter, because he wanted you before any of this. So where's the conflict? Like when you get married, b'mheira b'yameinu, when you get married, the feeling is, I don't know why he would marry me. I see what I'm getting a really good, but what does he need me for? So that's like saying, I'm not important here. It's not about me. And yet, he's marrying you. So you're doubly inspired and impressed. Not that if I'm not so important and not so great, then he probably doesn't really love me. No, the opposite. I can't imagine what I possibly could do for him, and yet he wants to marry me. That's how we're supposed to think about God. I don't know what I could possibly do for him. I'm just a physical, created being who didn't exist 10 minutes ago. Okay, a few years ago. All right, 5,000 years ago. But I once didn't exist. So how important can I possibly be to him? It's the opposite. If you're so small, so insignificant, and you didn't exist, and yet he wanted you, so that proves that he likes you less or more. If in fact it is true, Gashmias is nothing. What does it mean it's nothing? It didn't appeal to the Eibishter, like, oh, I gotta have one of those. There's nothing about this world that is appealing. And yet, this is all he cares about. He doesn't care about Atzilus, and he doesn't care about angels. He cares about this, us. So when you put those two things together, what do you get? That I count or I don't count? Turns out, now I count much more than I ever thought. He cares about me much more than I ever thought possible. So as in the example of the mother, the behavior of the child is, of course, important. If a child gives you nachas, it's wonderful. If he doesn't, it's terrible. But there's something bigger than that. Whether he gives you nachas or not, he is yours. And what made it that way? Not the kid. Kid didn't do anything. The mother was a mother before there was a kid. Just like we say, Adonai Elohim Asher Molach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra. God was our king before he even created us. So on the one hand, that's supposed to humble you, and on the other hand, it makes you so important. He already wanted you before you did anything to please him? Then how can he ever stop wanting you? Because you're not cute? That doesn't count. And that's why even the worst Jew in the world is infinitely valuable. Because the Eibishter didn't create him because he was impressive. The Eibishter created him before he even existed. Which I guess is what creation means. You always create something before it exists.
But couldn't he be disappointed once he created the person and the person is
He is.
behaving wrongly?
He is horribly
The love be
disappointed.
lost?
No. The pleasure is lost, maybe. But the relationship, you are mine, and like the Eibishter says, there's nothing I can do about it. If your child is your child, there's nothing you can do about it. Even if you're very upset. And that's why, even when, God forbid, a child passes away, a mother outlives a child, she's still a mother. If you can be a mother before the child is even born, you can be a mother after the child passes away. Because it's not the child, it's you. You're a mother. The child doesn't make you a mother. A mother makes a child. We don't make the Eibishter. The Eibishter makes us. And the more we understand how we can't make him, the greater we become. That means that I am all his idea. Wow. That's amazing. That's what we mean when we say, Ata b'chartanu. Chosen. What does chosen mean? You're a teacher and you have two kids in the class. One is a great student who makes your life wonderful, and the other student makes your life miserable because he doesn't want to learn, he doesn't want. So when you make a party, who are you going to invite? Do you really have a choice? I mean, you're going to choose the good kid? No, it's done. The good kid has already chosen you. He's already influenced you. You're not choosing anymore, because what's the choice? You have two apples on the table. One is healthy and complete, and the other one is starting to rot and it's a piece missing. Which one are you going to choose? You're not going to choose. There's no choice necessary. I mean, it's rather obvious. In other words, the healthy apple has already made the decision for you. The good student, well, that's it. Decision is made. You have no choice. So what does it mean that the Eibishter chose us? Because we're the best and the smartest? Then there's no choice. If you're the best and the smartest, you made the choice. You win the prize. He has no choice, so to speak. But when two things are perfectly equal, so these two things have no effect on me whatsoever, neither of them, but I have to make a choice. How do I choose?
So then whatever you pick, that's real choice.
So when you have two apples that are exactly the same, and you only want one, what are you going to do? Of course, it's very hard to imagine exactly the same. Because even if they look exactly the same, one is closer to your hand by an inch. That's it. It already decided for you. You're going to reach for the closer one. But imagine that they're exactly the same distance and they look exactly the same, and they're this. So they are not influencing you at all, so they don't exist in terms of the choice. That's when you need to make a choice. So when God says, I chose you, it doesn't mean I sat there thinking, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. No. They're exactly the same, and the two don't influence your choice. So when you make a choice, where is it coming from? It's like teenagers who come home with piercings. And the mother says, "What was that? Why'd you do that?" "Oh, I decided to." "No, you didn't decide to. Somebody in school started a fad and you have to go along with it. You didn't decide." "I chose to do this." "No, you didn't choose." The first kid in the world who decided to have piercings, now that's a choice. Out of nowhere? You just decided you think it would be nice to have things sticking out? That's a choice. So when we say God chose us, it means like a mother decides to be a mother before anything can influence her. So on the one hand, it's not much of a compliment. So the Eibishter says, I didn't choose you because you're smarter, nicer, cuter, or better. Nah. You're not so smart, you're not so good, you're stubborn. I chose you. Not you impressed me. I chose you. Because there's something about me that wants you. Not something about you that makes me want you. So on the one hand, it's pretty humbling. What, you think you're special? No. But then, without being special, you chose. I'm that important to you? Then how special am I?